Hello, my name's Stuart, Classical Record Collector. Here I am looking at some eBay items. I'm going to be providing some commentary. I spotted this record earlier today and I was interested in it because I collect unusual violinists or violinists that are not significantly recorded. I'm not familiar with this particular violinist. His name is Alberto Lissi. And I was very much interested in this record. Maybe I should have bought it. It's only £5 and it's a DMM, direct metal mastering. Why didn't I buy it? Well, he says it's near mint, or at least looks near mint from appearance, which is fair enough, and it probably is in excellent condition. An 80s record, I'm sure it would be fine. The reason I didn't buy it is because I didn't like the jacket. I don't like edge wear like that. You know, it sort of ruins it a bit for me. Can you see that? Having said that, this is a very unusual record. Maybe I should have bought it. It hasn't sold, and he's relisted it for the same price. So, and you can see there's a bit of a tear. There's a price sticker that's been on this, and somebody's torn it off, and they've taken some of the original jacket with it. Now, by the way, when I take stickers off, obviously I start off with my fingernail. I mean, a good idea really is to wet the sticker and sort of get it off that way. But if I think, oh, I can probably get this off, what I normally do is I get a corner up of the sticker, and then using my breath, I kind of I apply my breath underneath the sticker to kind of soften it. Obviously, with the moisture that's coming from my breath and the temperature, it's quite often enough to soften it. You keep doing that and you can usually get it off without having to wet the sticker. So anyway, that's one of my tricks of the trade, which maybe I shouldn't have talked about, but yeah, that's what I do. So somebody has made a complete mess there of getting that sticker off. You can see here as well, there's more jacket damage. It's a shame, because if that jacket had been in really excellent condition, I would have paid £10 for that. But anyway, it's not. Actually, at the back it's not too bad. It's just at the front. So now the other thing is, because it said £5, I thought, I'm going to have to pay then 10 in order to get it to me. So it's really effectively costing me £10 anyway. I thought, well, what else has he got? Because he says he combines. So I decided to go and look at his other records, and let's have a look through them. We'll have a look at the auctions, the ones ending soonest. Now, okay. So in fact, there was a 3-record Columbia there, an opera that he wanted £25 for. I believe it didn't sell. I didn't think it would sell for £25. Let's see what he's got here. This one ends in 12 minutes. Das Lied von der Erde. And that's not going to sell for £30. That's not even going to sell for £10. There's no demand for that record because of the repertoire, and you know, it's just not an interesting record, I'm afraid. So no, that's not going to sell. And I'll maybe come back to this in another video, but I don't believe that will sell. This one here, we've got LGX 66065. It's a Telefunken Schubert Quartet, Mozart and Schubert. Let's have a look and let's just see which quartets are on there. So we've got Mozart Quartet in D major for flute, viola. Okay, so yeah, we've got a flute quartet, and we've got the Great Oboe Quartet. That's an excellent piece. And we've got a couple of pieces from Schubert. The one that's probably really interesting here is the Rondo in A major for violin and strings with Eric Kohn. Now, nobody's going to pay £50 for that. Honestly, I really don't think so, unless Eric Kohn is, you know, some really sought after violinist that I don't know about, but I don't believe that's going to fetch £50. I would say maybe 10 on this. Okay, next one. So we've got ALP 1337, Schubert, Mendelssohn, Amadeus String Quartet. Nope, that's not going to fetch 15. It probably wouldn't even fetch a £5. And well, why? Well, the Amadeus Quartet, they're not really collectible at all, and I don't know, I've never found that those Amadeus quartet records ever sell in mono or in stereo either, frankly. I mean, they're a good quartet, but I just found that these old ALPs, Amadeus Quartet, they just don't sell. And which is a shame, because I think the recordings are good. I think the performances are very good, but there's really very little interest in them. SXL 2170, it's a wideband ED2, £12. I would have thought that would probably fetch £12 as long as the condition is good enough. ALP 1130, Fidelio, no, there's going to be no interest in that. Also note, it's a mixed set. We got two jackets of one design and one jacket of another design. That's not going to sell. It wouldn't even sell if everything was perfect. Here we are, CX5277. There's an SAX of this, which is worth probably several £100. In mono, I don't believe that's going to sell for £8. I just don't believe it's an interesting record in mono. In stereo, it's interesting, but not in mono. Schwarzkopf 33CX 1657. That's not going to sell either. There's no interest in Wolf Leader among collectors. That's not going to sell. Great soprano, great leader singer, but that's not going to sell. Melodia, string quartets, Beethoven. That's kind of interesting, or at least I personally find that interesting. Here we are. That's stereo, and which quartet is it? Let's have a look. Oh, I can't read that because of the right. Let's see if I can read it there. Beethoven. Yeah, okay. It's the Beethoven Quartet. All right, got it. Yeah, Beethoven Quartet playing Beethoven. Fine, it makes sense, doesn't it? So I think that's quite a good record, but I don't think it will sell for 25. Again, I don't think there's going to be much interest in that record. I mean, maybe sort of 10 to 15, but not 25. Right, Rossini, the oval logo string sonatas. There's a possibility that might sell for 30, but I don't really think there's as much interest in this record as there used to be. And I think maybe £15 is a price that it probably would be more likely to sell for. ASD 655, the great Elgar Cello Concerto, £8. It might fetch £8. That is the, let me see, that's the second label for this record. The first label is a semicircle dog. That's a dog in stamp without the white line running around the edge. So that is the second label. It may sell for £8. It's a flip back. Right, job lot of 48. Okay, forget that. Okay, let's see. We got Schubert String Quintet number 15, the great D887 Schubert String Quintet, an early issue. Let's see what he says about the condition. Lovely record this is, and let's just see what he says. Is a jacket in great condition? It is actually, yeah, that's a really nice copy. Beautiful. Absolute. Now that's how I like to see a jacket looking. That is an absolute beauty. Look at that. Yep, that really is class. Let's see. He's record graded at near mint. Okay. Well, if that might well sell at 200, but I don't think he'll get more than one bid. He might find one buyer prepared to pay 200 for that. So that one possibly will go, because it's an absolutely superb condition, great piece of music, great quartet. So I'm predicting that he'll get one bid for that. Yep, and it will sell. This won't sell. Elgar Cello Concerto on CBS is nowhere near as popular as the ASD. Claudio Arrau, that won't sell for £15. For a fiver, yes, not for 15. LXT 5302, £50. Now, is there a stereo of that? I don't think there is. I don't think there is a stereo of that, but I don't think it will fetch £50. I think it'll probably, I think £20 is a more realistic price. That won't sell. There's very little interest in that set. I mean, there's a lot of interest in cello music, but not much interested in Casals playing a mono performances, which is a mixed bag. It's not even like the great Bach cello suites. it's a mixed bag. Mixed bags tend to do worse than like a proper set of records on a work. Like, as I say, the Bach Sonatas and Partita for violin, or Bach cello suites, Beethoven violin sonatas or cello sonatas, that kind of thing, Brahms cello sonatas. SLS 5195, Tenstedt, that might sell for a tenner. It may well do. That won't sell. The Callas won't sell for 10. The stereo is interesting, but the mono isn't. Decca LXT 5016, 33 variations now. This is kind of interesting. Backhouse. These LXTs tend to be in absolutely awful condition, so even if they look good, because they've been played with heavy styli back in the 50s, they tend to be noisy. But that's kind of interesting. The Diabelli variations, Beethoven. If that was in really good condition, it might fetch 15. Brunswick, that won't sell. Serenade in D major for flute, violin and viola. Nope, that won't sell. LXT 2828, Le Espanola, Ravel, that won't sell for £10. Nope. That won't. Oh right, Rachmaninoff Chopin cello sonatas. That won't sell because it's a large dog, 1980s large dog pressing. As we can see, that label, I don't think that will sell. I think £5 it would sell, but not 15. Salvatore Accardo, Volume 1, £10, maybe. I don't know. No, it won't sell. Accardo doesn't really sell. Okay, so here we are. SXL 2289, ED1, £800. I've not really noticed that these SXL orchestral big banger records, as I used to call them, that used to be some of the most expensive SXLs in the 90s. I don't believe that they're fetching the kind of money that people are asking, £800. I've not noticed that they're fetching that sort of money. They're fetching much less, so I don't think it will sell for 800. Menuhin, no, that definitely won't sell. Here's a great record. Beautiful performance, lovely sound. Klemperer, £120. The jacket here is usually in that kind of condition because it's quite a thin kind of laminated type. So it looks a bit ragged around the edges, which is sort of reduces the value a bit. The original sleeve is there. Let's have a look at the back of it. Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, who wants to pay £120 for a record with an edge like that? It ruins the enjoyment for a collector of actually buying the record. Let's see what he says about it. He's got the sleeve down as VG+. I wouldn't rate it a VG+. I'd rate it a VG. And the record, he's graded it near mint. Fair enough. But if I was him, I would hold on and try and find a better sleeve, a better jacket for that record. And you know, it's not going to fetch £120. SXL 6426, Rostropovich, Benjamin Britten. Well, that's a lot of money for that record. I think I've seen this one selling for big money, and it surprised me, so it may well sell for that price. Yeah, possibly it will sell for that price. LXT 5569, 24 caprices. I think, yeah, there is a stereo of this. I mean, I personally would buy the mono of this, but I wouldn't pay £40 for it. I'd want to pay about 15, so I don't think that will sell. LXT 5609, Brahms Hungarian Dances. Well, I mean, there's a stereo of it. It's not worth 30 quid. It's worth a tenner or even just a fiver. And LXT, the Symphonie Fantastique. Sorry, Musica Berlioz. Sorry, it's not the Symphonie Fantastique. It's just like overtures, etc. And I don't think that will sell. And I don't think this will sell either. LXT 6035, great record in stereo, but in mono, you know, it's a big disappointment if you're playing that in mono and you've got the orchestra and everything and all the sound is just focused onto one point. That definitely will not sell. LXT 5044, Ferras. I've never seen a Ferras in mono fetching that amount of money ever. Okay, well, I'm going to stop there. I'll come back to these and maybe make a follow-up video to see, you know, whether I was right or wrong. Let's just have a quick look because I think this one is just ending. Right, let's have a look, see whether I'm right. I said it wouldn't sell at £30. 8 seconds, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, gone. Ended. Bidding ended, and surprise, surprise, it did not sell. So I'm right about that one. Yep. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now.